If you're on food stamps, I have breaking news, and it's actually good news. A federal judge is getting ready to force the administration to issue food stamps for the month of November. Now, a hearing happened today, and the federal judge has indicated that she wants to meet again tomorrow, but she's not persuaded by the administration's reasons for holding SNAP benefits. I'm going to get into it. Plus, 11 states are getting ready to pay food stamps if the shutdown continues and if food stamps dry out tomorrow, the 31st. Stay with me here. I have a lot to cover. My name is Wami Quer. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance issues that affect seniors both in and out of Congress. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor. Go into the comments and let me know your city and your state because I like to know where you guys are watching my broadcast from. Plus, if you've been watching my channel for a while, welcome back. I am glad you're here. We have a lot to cover, and I mean that. I am going to show you why this federal judge is not persuaded by the Trump administration's argument for not releasing the emergency funds, the $6 billion that is sitting in the emergency fund that Congress has assigned for situations like this. She's not persuaded. She has asked for a meeting tomorrow, and it appears from this particular article that it looks like she's going to intervene tomorrow and force the administration to issue SNAP benefits for November. That is amazing news. That is the best news we've had so far. So stay with me. We're going to go through that. And then up to 11 states are getting ready to step in if the Trump administration still does not issue SNAP benefits for November. Or the judge may intervene and instruct the administration to do the right thing and release the funds, but they may slow walk it. They may drag their feet in doing it. And 11 states are getting ready to step in and help SNAP recipients. Plus, this affects a lot of people. If SNAP benefits don't get issued in November, a lot of people are going to be affected. I'm going to share with you who and where. So let's dive into this breaking news article and let me read it to you. So this is from CNN. It says, judge indicates she will intervene in fight over SNAP food assistance money. Let's read a little bit. A federal judge in Boston indicated Thursday that she will intervene in the high-stakes fight over the Trump administration's decision not to tap into billions of dollars in emergency funds to help cover food stamps benefits for tens of millions of Americans in November. And here's a quote. Right now, Congress has put money in an emergency fund for an emergency. And it's hard for me to understand how this isn't an emergency when there is no money and a lot of people are needing their SNAP benefits. U.S. District Judge Aida Tani said near the end of a hearing, referring to SNAP benefits, a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, the formal name for food stamps. Though the judge's open options vary, one possibility is that she issues an emergency order that essentially compels the administration to tap into the emergency funds. While she indicated from the bench that she was likely to issue a ruling favorable to the group of Democratic attorneys, generals, and governors who sued the administration earlier this week, she acknowledged that benefits which should start being sent to recipients on November 1st will be delayed. That's what I was saying, that even if the judge issues this order, it's probably going to take a while before you get it. That's why the states that are getting ready to help you in the meantime are quite important. So stay with me as I tell you what these states are doing to help SNAP recipients starting November the 1st. And this is what she said. We are dealing with a reality that the benefits aren't going to be here on November 1st. Tani said she would work quickly to issue her decision later. Nearly 42 million Americans receive food stamps, a critical piece of the nation's safety net. The program costs roughly $8.5 billion a month, while the emergency fund is now at $5.3 billion in it. So it doesn't solve the problem, but it helps. If the judge orders the government to issue the emergency fund, it will take some time for the Agricultural Department and states to get their system up and running again, which means at least some beneficiaries will likely have to wait for the November allotment. So that is the opinion from CNN, and this was also carried by NPR. So the same opinion is being shared on NPR. It says, judge is set to decide whether SNAP benefits can be cut off on Saturday. A federal judge decision may come soon as Thursday afternoon, which will void the total cutoff of federal assistance to 42 million Americans that is set to begin on Saturday. The Trump administration has stated that the benefit from SNAP program could not continue to flow due to federal shutdown. The well has run dry. That's what the USDA said. But attorney generals from some Democratic states and governors sued the administration, and now the judge looks like they're going to issue an opinion in favor of continuing to issue SNAP benefits. Guys, if you want to stay on top of all the breaking news that's happening, there's so much happening. Join my text message list. It's a list where thousands of seniors have already joined, and you get a text message from me when there's breaking news. So text the word insider to 443-293-0080. That's the number you see on your screen, and you'll be added to my text club so that when there's breaking news or anything I think you should know that could affect your benefits, you'll be the first to know. All right, so now that we've covered this, let's go to the 11 states that are helping SNAP recipients. So if you watched my channel a few days ago, I told you that 8 states right now are preparing to help SNAP recipients starting in November if this particular issue is not resolved. And so I showed you a map that shared what the 8 states are. Let me see here if I can find that map. And let me hold on a second. No, that's not it. So I'll come back to that. But I need to find that article and share with you. But right now, additional states have actually let me go to a different presentation that I have that actually can give you the list of states that are helping SNAP recipients with food stamps benefits if this particular shutdown continues. So I will be ready in a second. Let's say, all right, here we go. So let me stop sharing and then I can share this with you. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom. So recently I shared that these 8 states are helping SNAP recipients. California, 9 states actually, maybe California, Colorado, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Mexico, New York, Vermont, and Virginia. These states are stepping in to help, and more states have joined this. So these particular states have set aside money to help SNAP recipients. If November 1st comes and your SNAP benefits are not sent by the federal government, these states have made a commitment. They've set aside a ton of money to help SNAP recipients in the meantime. Now, new states have actually joined the list, and that's what I want to share with you. So let's start with Ohio. Ohio has issued news recently saying that they are also going to support their citizens in helping them during this difficult period when SNAP benefits are being cut off. So let me share that with you. So here it is. Ohio Governor DeWine signs executive order for families relying on SNAP. So the governor signed an executive order on Thursday that will provide $25 million to Ohio families affected by the suspension of SNAP. According to the press office, Executive Order 2025 OD6, which comes amid the government shutdown, aimed to directly support affected families in Ohio. The Department of Job and Family Services will give $7 million to various Ohio food banks and up to $18 million in emergency relief to more than 63,000 Ohioans, including 57,000 children. Families will qualify if they are at or below 50% of the federal poverty level. So that is what Ohio is doing. Now, Michigan is also doing something. Let me pull that up and then share with you. Give me a second. Let me find that article. And if I can't find it, we are going to go to Massachusetts because Massachusetts also issued an order today, which is also important to share with you. So Massachusetts, as SNAP freeze looms, Massachusetts pushes extra money to food banks. You can see that. All right, good. So let me scroll down and then read the headline. Millions of all these pop-ups, guys. How do I get rid? Okay, there we go. Block. Millions of dollars will be distributed to food banks across the state as more than 1 million Massachusetts residents are facing the loss of SNAP benefits. According to Governor Maura Haley announced Thursday, Snapchats are currently on track to kick in on Saturday due to the government shutdown. More than 1 million Massachusetts residents will be affected, of which 32% are children, 31% are people with disabilities, and 26% are older adults. So that is what Massachusetts is doing. Now let me find Michigan, Michigan's story, because I think you should also learn about that. There we go. So let me pull that up and then we can go through that. So Michigan is also stepping up to help. So here we go. Michigan approves $71 million in food aid for SNAP recipients. So it says the Michigan Senate has approved $71 million towards helping feed families as the federal food assistance program is set to expire. And there are 1.4 million people in the state that receive food stamps. So my thought is that as the food stamps thing drags on, a lot more states, because remember, we started with a few states, 5 of them now, it's almost up to 12 or 13. So Maryland, where I live, also is stepping up. So let me find the news about Maryland and share that with you. So here we go. So Maryland is also stepping in, issuing a state of emergency in order to help put money aside for SNAP recipient. So here is the news. Maryland governor, Maryland emergency. Declaration to send 10 million to food banks. I mean, looming halts to SNAP benefits. So Maryland Governor Russ was more declared a state of emergency. Thursday, which is today, ahead of the looming funding halt for SNAP benefits, on October 10th, the USDA said debit cards used to pay SNAP to buy groceries will not be reloaded for November 1st. And speaking Thursday morning in Anando County Food Bank in K. Crownsville, the governor said he declares a state of emergency to send $10 million in grant funding to the Fiscal Responsibility Fund to food banks and food bank partners. So it's coming from the Fiscal Responsibility Fund. It must be some emergency fund that the state has until the shutdown ends. We share a collective responsibility to help each other out. So guys, you can see there's a lot of stuff happening. So if you want to stay on top of this, text the word insider to 443-293-0080. You'll be added to my text club. It is free of charge, and you'll get important news maybe once or twice a week that can affect your benefits, your finances, or your retirement. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, when this happens, it affects a lot of people. And I want to share 3 categories of people that are affected by this particular issue of food stamps not being paid. Because a lot of people don't realize that food stamps does a lot for the US economy. And when food stamps are not issued, there's a lot of sectors that are affected. So the first one I want to share with you is the schools' children that are affected. So I saw this article today that shows how schools are bracing for the negative impact of the food stamp shutdown. So schools break for SNAP benefit lapse. With the nation's largest federal assistance program likely expiring November 1st, school systems are looking for ways to best support low-income children and families. So it says a prolonged federal government shutdown is causing some school systems and government agencies. I want to make sure you can see this. Yes, you can. To provide outreach and extra support for low-income families and children affected by their likely expiration of benefits. Advocates for low-income families are warning that childhood hunger will increase when funding expires November 1st for SNAP, the nation's largest federal food assistance program. While SNAP benefits are of immediate concern, some school systems advocates and policymakers are also worried about long-term sustainability of free or reduced price launches as well as access to Her Start, if the shutdown isn't resolved soon. So, the shutdown happening and continuing is a concern. About 39% of SNAP recipients are children under age of 18, according to the National Education Policy Center. That is a huge number. And so it makes sense why policymakers and advocates are worried that this could have a long-term impact. Now, what other group is affected by this? Well, for example, food banks. Well, food banks are supposed to step in and help, but food banks cannot take this on. Like the amount of money that the government spends on SNAP, food banks are in no way ready to do that. So, the Salvation Army issues a press release saying that, the Salvation Army stresses the importance of protecting access to SNAP because they know that they cannot do this. Tens of millions of Americans face uncertainty around SNAP as the government shutdown stretches, and on the cost remains high. Families are already turning to our food pantries in growing numbers, many for the first time. In some communities, demand for food assistance in recent weeks has more than doubled what is typical. It is evident that the trend will continue throughout the country. So they are saying, look, we're seeing the effects of what's happening, and it's not good. And then another sector of the economy that is going to be impacted by this, if this does not resolve itself soon, is retailers. Small retailers, mom and pop shops who rely on SNAP recipients to shop at their grocery stores are also now worried about what's going to happen to their businesses. Let's look at this story from NPR. If SNAP food aid is cut off, small grocery stores will also feel the pain. So this is a store manager at a grocery store in Springfield, Massachusetts. The bulk of their customers depend on SNAP benefits, and the store depends on them for their business. So it says, Rios is a regular at a Save-A-Lot store in Springfield, but since the start of hearing that her federal assistance program has been cut off, she has been trying to put some of the money as she receives aside just in case, and she's no longer giving all her business to Save-A-Lot. I am at a point where I am shopping for deals at 3 different stores, so I will come here because this is cheaper than Stop and Shop. But some of the items at price, right, are cheaper than here. And Walmart is cheaper for the cleaning stuff. I just shop around. So this is who the story is about. But the point is that look, this thing has deep, deep, deep roots. SNAP, 42 million people. And every $1 of SNAP benefits that is spent, the US economy is stimulated by almost $2. And in local communities, this is huge. Local mom and pop grocery stores in small communities, rural communities, urban communities, all depend on SNAP customers to come in and shop. And you may think it's just mom and pop. A lot of grocery is bought at Walmart with SNAP, but they're a giant company, so they're not going to care or they're not going to be affected. But small mom and retail shop in our local economy are all affected by what's happening to SNAP benefits. So it's not just that SNAP helps a lot of people. And I shared yesterday, and I'll share it again, that some people don't know who exactly is on SNAP. So let me share some news here. Here are the people that are on SNAP benefits. If you don't know, children, 16 million children, almost 40%. Seniors, 8 million. College students, 1.5 million. Legal immigrants, a lot of people think illegal immigrants are getting snapped. That is impossible. But legal immigrants who are here on long-term green card holders, 1.5 million of them are on food stamps. Veterans, 1.22 million active military families. 22,000 active military duty families are on SNAP benefits. It cuts across a lot of places than people realize, And how much do people get a day? A lot of people think people on SNAP are living the big life. The average person gets $6 a day for SNAP. $6 a day. That is nothing, but it helps a lot. But it goes a long way to help a lot of families, seniors, people on disability afford food that is necessary for them. So guys, that is what I wanted to share with you today. And, with all of this that is happening, any help that you can get is important. And so for seniors right now during this open enrollment season for Medicare, I want to make sure that you are getting the savings that you deserve. And so if you are not already aware, we have partnered with an amazing organization called Chapter Medicare. And I am on a mission to help 100,000 seniors during this open enrollment season get peace of mind about Medicare, because that is another area where prices are rising fast. There's a lot of uncertainty, and it's important to be educated and know what your options are before you renew your benefits. This open enrollment season, which has already started and is going to close very soon, you earned Medicare, why not get the best out of it? So my job is to educate you, to create resources for you and connect you to the best support. But 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. Why? Because it's overwhelming. 24,000 Medicare plans out there, and it can cost you money if you're in the wrong plan. And it may even cost you your health, because there's nothing worse than needing medical care and realizing that your Medicare plan does not cover everything, or now you have to come out of pocket to pay for something that you weren't ready for. So with all the horror stories that are happening in the news regarding Medicare, we have partnered with Chapter, and over 3,000 of our viewers, it said 2,000, but it's increased to over 3,000 of our viewers have reached out to Chapter and gotten that peace of mind that I'm talking about. What does that mean? It means that Chapter is going to give you free, unbiased opinion about what your options are regarding Medicare for next year and help you switch to a better plan. And they can save you $1,100 a year. Somebody today, Kevin, saved $2,100. And he texted us today that that is how happy he was that he was able to save money. So call them at 539-20-52147. It's busy season right now, so the lines may be busy. Keep trying. Call during the weekend. You are likely to get through faster. But the point is that give these guys a call. You owe it to yourself because at least they will tell you all the options that are available to you. Now you have the information. Then you can make a decision that works for you. Are you going to stay on your Advantage plan? Are you going to move into a different Advantage plan? Are you going to move from Original Medicare to Advantage? Or are you going to move for Advantage to Original Medicare? These guys can help you. Is your Medigap plan too expensive for you? Do you need another one? What are your options? These guys can help you sort through all that. Give them a call and I'll put the link to their form if you just want them to call you back. If their line is busy, you can request a call back or you can fill out the form. I'm going to put in the comments and in the description and they will call you back and help you out. So guys, I wanted to come on tonight and break the news to you that the judge probably tomorrow is going to lift this whole mess and force the administration to issue SNAP benefits for November. It may not happen immediately because it's going to take time for them to fix it all and get the systems running. And I've shared with you what states are doing. I'm sure more states are going to come on board and try to help until SNAP benefits start flowing. So, I'll stay on top of this news and bring you all the latest news and updates. Anything in and out of Congress that's going to affect your retirement, your benefits, and your finances. So, if you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.